Good afternoon, Pastor Dave from Herman, Missouri. We've had a lot of motorcycles in here today. Man, there's been hundreds of them. They had a big toy run right after church, and wow, cycles everywhere. Woo, it sounded good. It sounded awesome, actually. And I have been getting a lot of stuff that's been going on, the government and all of this, and I was kind of wondering, well, what's next? What's next? And last night, as I was in my study praying and asking God for today, this thought come to me, but God. And I started thinking about that, but God. I looked it up. The word but is mentioned 4,000 times in the King James Version of the Bible, but God is mentioned 45 times in the King James Version of the Bible, that there's something going to happen, but God intervened and it changed. Well, then the Lord brought to my mind, do you think that I have run off somewhere? Do you think that I'm still not in control? No, you're in control. Absolutely you're in control. But I'm telling you that we have not heard the last chapter yet. I know I've read the last pages of the Bible and we win. But we're on a progress right now of life going through. And what is God going to do? He's going to just run off and leave us? No. In every situation that the people of God got in, but God showed up. You can take Joseph there when his brothers sold him and he was given as a slave and was in prison, lied on and everything. It looked like everything was really going south for him. But at the end of it, in Genesis, the 50th chapter, it says that he said to his brother, you meant this for evil, but God did it so that many people would be saved. I'm telling you, we serve an awesome God. Whoopee! I think of Brother Borton in our church in Greenfield. He'd get happy and go, whoopee! Like that, and I'll tell you, he'd get everybody excited. And if there's a time to say whoopee, it's now, because our God will help you and I. Our God will see us through. Our God is he's not based on the government or any of the politicians or anything else. Our God is the ruler of the universe. He is the King of kings and Lord of lords. It says that they crucified him, but God raised him up. But God in there changed everything. You and I are redeemed today but God intervened, just like in Ephesians, that second chapter. We could say that it looked bad because we were enslaved. We were doing everything according to the enemy and walking. Then it says there in Ephesians, the second chapter, but God, who is rich in his mercy, who had redeemed us and delivered us from the power of Satan. But God in there changes the whole picture. I mean, in your life, it did it in the life of the lady with the issue of blood when she touched Jesus. It was the power of God, and it changed her life. Or even remember the girl that died, and Jesus went over there, and they was laughing, said, "No, she's dead," and he said, "No, she's sleeping." Say, "No, she's dead. No, she's dead." And Jesus said, "Daughter, arise," and she come forth, and it was but God. It was but God. I'm telling you, we serve an awesome God. I'm glad I'm on his side. I'm glad I've been adopted to the family of God. I don't belong to that other kingdom out there. I have been redeemed by the power of the blood. I walk to a different footbeat or a different drumbeat than the world does. I'm telling you, I'm looking for the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. One of these days, I'm going to be with him. I'm going to be on the other side of this life. And I'm telling you that it's going to be exciting because I can win, because no weapon formed against me will prosper, and no weapon formed against you will prosper. Now, God is a good God, and he loves you and I. And now I'm telling you, don't look at the news all the time. You need to look into the Word. If you look in the news, that's what got me. I just saying, well, how are we going to make it? What are we going to do now? They're putting more mandates and no telling what they're going to do, and they've changed so many of the morals and so many of the things that we've always stood by. But then I realized, but God has the last word. And when he steps in, I mean, things change. Yes, it's sort of like when Mama come home, you better be doing what's right. Especially when Dad come home. Whoopee, I think of a fellow we had in our church. He'd get all happy in Greenfield, Indiana. he'd get all happy, and his name was Brother Borton. He was 91 years old, and we'd be preaching along, and I'd say something that he really liked, and he'd go, whoopee, like that, and I'll tell you for sure, I think of that many times. I'm telling you, we can say whoopee because our God reigns, our God is in control, and I'm telling you, be wise, stay close to God. He hadn't run off anywhere. He said, I'll never leave you nor forsake you. And also with the trial, there's also a way of escape. And I tell you that every knee's going to bow and every tongue's going to confess that Jesus is Lord. You just wait and see. Because my God does have the last say, and he is going to be King of Kings and Lord of Lords, and I'm going to be on his side. I trust you are too. Lord bless you. Have a good day, and share Jesus with somebody this week.